Hello, everyone. Pastor Dave back again. Today we're talking on Revelation again, the part three of Revelation Made Easy. I know it's not super easy, but it is easier just condensing it like this. And I hope you start grasping it and dig into it and start understanding virtually everything. But here we go. Part three, starting with chapter 4. Now, first thing you're going to see in chapter 4, there's nothing mentioned about the churches. In chapter 1, we had the introduction, and here's John being caught up before Jesus. He sees it's Jesus on the throne, and then Jesus commands him basically to take up and write what these things I say, and these things must happen soon, and they will happen. So we then also that part two, we looked at the churches, which were chapters 3, 2, and 3, and in that we found out there's 7 main churches in the area at that time, and Jesus had good things to say about them. He had bad things to say, but mainly he said, persevere so that you will not be left behind and have to go through the tribulation. Now we're looking at part 4. And in part 4, we have the throne room in heaven. In the throne room from heaven, let me start reading a few things here from that chapter. It says, after these things, I looked up, and behold, a door standing open in heaven. And the first voice which I heard was like a trumpet with me saying, come up here, and I will show you the things which must take place after this. And immediately I was caught up in the Spirit, and behold, a throne set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he who sat on the throne was like jasper and sardis stone in appearance, and there was a rainbow around the throne in appearance like an emerald. Around the throne were 24 thrones, and on the thrones were 24 elders sitting, clothed in their robes, and they had crowns of gold on their heads. And from the throne proceeded lightning, thunderings, voices, 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne. We'll go on, just not read all that, but at the end of that verses, it says, holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. Whenever the living creatures give glory and honor and thanks to him who sits on the throne, who lives forever and ever, the 24 elders would fall down before him who sits on the throne and worship him, and he who lives forever and ever, and cast crowns before him, saying, you are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by you they will exist, and they were created. So what a picture. Opening scene, after talking about the churches, he's caught up before Jesus again in the throne room where Jesus sits on the throne, and there he sees these 24 elders. He sees this like everything's like emerald and